Smoke machines were used to create the hazy look of bombed-out districts. Reflective materials were used to mimic fire glows. Metal sheets created the illusion of broken rooftops reflecting moonlight. The fake city didn't just shine. It moved. It glowed. It breathed like a real city suffering under attack. Nothing like this had ever been attempted in wartime before. The real test came on a cold winter night, when British radar detected waves of German bombers heading toward London. The real London immediately went dark. Blackout curtains drawn, street lights off, factories shut down. And miles away, the fake city lit up. Fire baskets ignited. Road lights flickered to life. Fake chimneys glowed with artificial heat. From the sky, the fake city looked exactly like the real one should have looked if it had been bombed minutes earlier. And the German pilots? They took the bait. Bombs rained down, not on London, but on an empty field purposefully designed to receive destruction. This wasn't just a successful mission. It was proof that Britain had created something extraordinary. Once the first fake city worked, Britain built more, dozens of them, all around London and major industrial hubs. Over time, German bombers repeatedly attacked the decoy sites. Entire bomb loads landed harmlessly on fields and wood. Thousands of lives were saved. Millions of pounds worth of infrastructure was protected. The Luftwaffe wasted fuel, resources, and time. No German pilot ever realized the truth, that they were bombing ghosts. The workers who maintained the sites were true heroes of the night. They stayed awake through freezing winds and roaring fires. They risked their lives handling burning fuel and explosives used for simulation, all without recognition, without medals, without even being allowed to tell their families what they were doing. Their weapon was illusion. When the war ended, the fake cities were quietly shut down. Their structures decayed. Their fires burned out. Their secrets buried under grass and soil. For decades, no one outside the military even knew they existed. It wasn't until classified files were released in the 1990s that historians uncovered the truth. These fake cities saved London, not with firepower, but with brilliance. White Medium Star Chapter 10. A Legacy of Light. Today, if you walk through those fields, you will see almost nothing. A few concrete blocks, some metal scraps, and faint outlines in the earth. But under that soil lies one of the greatest stories of human creativity, courage, and strategy. A story of a city built only to be destroyed. A city that never truly lived, but saved millions who did. This is the legacy of the fake city that protected London from air raids. In September 1940, Hitler launched Operation Blitz, a relentless bombing campaign aimed at crushing British morale. Every night for nearly 2 straight months, German bombers dropped explosives, incendiary bombs, and firestorms over London. Entire districts were flattened. Iconic buildings turned to rubble. People lived underground more than they lived above it. By the end of the Blitz, over 1 million buildings had been damaged or destroyed. Tens of thousands were killed. And the worst part? British defenses had no reliable way to stop nighttime air raids. Radar could detect incoming bombers. But once they crossed into the darkness over London, they disappeared into the night. The Luftwaffe pilots relied on small clues, slivers of light, glowing factories, burning streets, to guide their bombs. And it was this tiny detail that led to one of the most extraordinary plans in wartime history. British military engineers, alongside the Air Ministry, realized something crucial. German pilots were aiming at light. Wherever they saw light, they assumed a city was below. Where they saw fires, they believed bombs had hit the right target. Their strategy depended entirely on what they thought they were seeing from thousands of feet in the air. So Britain asked a bold question. What if we give them something to aim at? What if they could create a second London? A fake version far away from the real city, so convincing that bombers would drop their payloads there instead. And just like that, the concept of the Starfish Sites was born. The fake city wasn't a small model. It wasn't a miniature mock-up. It was a full-scale, miles-long decoy town built across the countryside. This fake city needed to replicate several things. Heavy checkmark fake houses, built from timber frames, covered with canvas or tar paper, painted to resemble rooftops. Heavy checkmark fake factories, with wooden chimneys, steel drums, and cleverly disguised light sources. Heavy checkmark fake roads, made not of asphalt, but strings of dim bulbs laid carefully in patterns that looked like streets. Heavy checkmark fake trains and rail yards, constructed from hollow boxes and painted boards. Heavy checkmark fake industrial areas, with burning fuel trays mimicking bombed-out neighborhoods. Everything was designed from scratch, not to fool people on the ground, but to fool bombers flying hundreds or thousands of feet above. Engineers built the entire illusion with one goal: create a city that looked alive at night. During the day, the site appeared empty, just farmland and a few wooden structures. But as night fell, the theater of war began. To fool enemy pilots, British engineers had to master a new kind of science: the science of light deception. They created 3 types of lighting systems. 1. Street glow. Soft, warm lights placed in gentle curves to mimic real roads. 2. Factory flicker. Rapid, uneven lights created with rotating metal filters, to imitate the look of machinery in action. 3. Fire simulation. Large pools of fuel called fire baskets, designed to burn like buildings struck by bombs. These were not random flames. They were controlled, choreographed movements of light and fire, designed to mimic the chaos of a burning city. From above, the effect was stunning, a perfect illusion of a city in distress.